Good evening, viewers. Thank you for coming in here into my channel once again. Today, our topic is going to be cloud computing. So, without wasting much time, let's dive into it. Now, you must have heard many people asking this question: what is cloud computing? Now, before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Darshini Ganesh, student of student at GCU, pursuing my master's in science and information technology. Now, getting on to the topic, as we all know, cloud computing is becoming increasingly popular. Cloud computing is rapidly growing technology today. So, on that context, today we are going to cover following topics: fundamentals of cloud computing, security issues because my company is migrating to cloud. We are also going to look at services of cloud computing. We are going to compare and contrast logical resources required, local controls in cloud computing, what are the network requirements in cloud computing, and also some of the security features of it, or considerations, we could say. In addition to that, we are also going to cover virtualization platforms. We are also going to, in detail, look at what are the different cloud services. We'll also give a peep into what is service-oriented architectures. We are going to look at different deployment models. Also, we'll look at some of the security, storage, and privacy issues in cloud computing. Now, what is cloud computing? The on-demand availability of computer system resources within various computing organizations, in particular data storage and processing power, without direct active supervision by the users, is known as cloud computing. Functions in large clouds are frequently dispersed over several sites, each of which is called as a data center. Moving on to fundamentals of cloud computing, there are 5 different fundamentals, which is also called as characteristics: compute, storage, database, networking, and security. Compute. You can outsource the computing capacity required by your server from a cluster of virtual machines in the cloud rather than provisioning it in a nearby data center, which is interesting, right? Now, what is storage? Cloud gives a lot of convenience of expanding your storage space without maintaining and purchasing extra local hard drives. And this is a key advantage in cloud storage. Database. This implies that you're no longer responsible for maintaining and updating the underlying parts of your database instances, such as operating system upgrade or software patches. Networking. To meet the demands of its end users, cloud service providers make sure that their infrastructure always have a very high speed network connection, which is a topmost, I would say that is one of the topmost fundamentals. Security. This means that dangers like theft or data leak are hardly going to materialize. Your focus as a cloud user should be on data management. Now let's dive on to some of the security issues that I've listed down because my company is migrating to cloud. It is always a fear that we have a lack of clear cloud migration strategy. We keep revising the strategies as we go through the learning curve. Incompatibility of existing architecture. Security risks, reduced visibility and control, fear of data loss, incomplete deletion of data, maybe overspending, cost factor, unwanted latency. Now, moving on to some of the cloud computing services, and there are 3 different types: software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. Let's look at each of these in detail. Software as a service. Web applications that are hosted in the cloud can be quickly accessed using the SaaS platform. You can access the vendor's whole computing stack using a web browser. You can also use these cloud-based programs with a paid license subscription or for free with restricted access. What is infrastructure as a service? It's essentially the virtual delivery of computing resources through the cloud. One can get the complete range of computing infrastructures from storage to servers to networking hardware, together with maintenance and support from last cloud provider. Platform as a service is simply a cloud platform where you can create, test, and manage various business applications. Using PaaS streamlines the process of developing enterprise software. PaaS is virtual runtime environment offers a convenient setting for creating and testing applications. Now, moving on to looking at what are the local resources requirements, what is local control in cloud computing, network requirements, and security requirements of cloud computing. New computing models for virtualization and cloud require an ultra-scalable network infrastructure with a very large number of high-speed Ethernet connections. Common IT resources include servers, database, software, storage, analytics, networking, and intelligence. Concept of local control means that there are several logical networks inside one physical network. And these logical networks can be defined by geographical area or time up and down link, or capacity and delay. Moving on to the security portion of it, cloud security, often referred to as cloud computing security, is a group of security controls intended to safeguard data, programs, infrastructure that are hosted in the cloud. These cloud security guarantees that data and resource access control, user and device authentication, and data privacy protection. Virtualization platforms in cloud computing. Making a virtual platform out of the server, operating system, and storage hardware is known as virtualization in cloud computing. The user will benefit from having access to multiple machines at once and sharing a single physical instance of a resource or programs across numerous users is also made possible in virtualization platforms. Service-oriented architecture. A software development technique known as service-oriented architecture uses software elements called services to build business applications. Every service offers a particular business function, and services can converse with one another across platform and languages. Now, there are also different deployment models in cloud. These are private clouds, public clouds, community clouds, and hybrid clouds. Let's look at each of these in detail. A firm can access cloud infrastructure that is not shared with anyone else is a private cloud. A CSP provides basic computing infrastructure that is shared by various other organizations on premises, and that is public cloud. What are community clouds? A comprehensive cloud solution is offered by community clouds. A more modern version on a private cloud concept for certain corporate communities is called as community clouds. Now, this is also another interesting deployment model, which is hybrid. Cloud deployments for businesses are divided between public and private cloud infrastructure and hybrid cloud. Sensitive data is still kept in the private cloud, which can maintain strict security requirements, whereas a portion of it can be maintained in the public cloud with very, very less or do not involve sensitive data. Moving on to security, storage, or legal privacy issues when it comes to cloud computing. We'll make it short. Data privacy and data protection, data availability, data location, and secure transmission are the key concerns in data security, data cloud security. Threats, data loss, service interruption, external hostile assaults, and multi-latency difficulties are some of the security challenges in cloud. I've also given some of the references that I used using which I gathered all the information for our presentation today. Please feel free to contact me or write in the comments if there are any questions or comments that you might have or suggestions that you would like to make. With that, I conclude our cloud computing presentation today. And thank you one and all for joining us today in this cloud computing presentation. Please keep subscribing my channel, keep watching it, and follow my channel.